This big season.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. David Njoku as the first half is winding down. And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Herbert. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before the break for Herbert. Open man, the tight end Henry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Open man completes it to Claypool. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in.
A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert, that's going to be caught. Touchdown, Broncos. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand new NFL record.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And in for the Lions touchdown. David Njoku with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. Lucky there just to avoid the safety. Able to fight through the tackle, but still backed up near the goal line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front.
And now here is another interception. And the Lions are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Now Agnew to throw on 2nd down. And that is taken in by Njoku. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Lions are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Lions are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was... And oh, he coughed it up! And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now Agnew, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. They'll keep it on the ground. Means. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Herbert on first down now. He'll bite, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. Throwing on second and long. Herbert. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. And they'll work this down inside the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
He's got it to Williams. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. To the air again, Herbert. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, Everything coming from up above.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The extra point up and good by Garibay as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going up top. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On first down, it's Herbert. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. And now here is another interception. Julian Love picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there, and gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't, and also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense